Oh, hello there. Thanks, Chuckles. Alright, so I know Veg is here. I think Tiger's here as well. Play. Gallico? So let's go over ball chasing for just a second. So these kind of worry me. It could just be the game. Could be the game played. When you're that far of separation from your teammates, that could be not necessarily a good thing. It's not always bad. It just kind of depends on how you play with your teammates and how they play together. Galley getting demoed a little bit more than everybody else. Connor getting 9 total. We're not a big demo heavy team ourselves. We don't get a lot of demos. Seems like we take more demos than anything else. So maybe they were a demo heavy team. Maybe that's something that we can look out for next time. This shooting percentage with a few of you up there. Oh no, had 1 goal. So you took 2 shots total. 6 for 14 though. That's impressive. 2 for 6. Not so bad. So as we start to see those shot counts come up, seeing the number of goals is great. And then the other thing I really like to look at is boost. Sometimes I look at position movement, not so much. Amount used while supersonic. So what is happening is you have the supersonic trails behind your car. You are probably going at max speed. Now, I will say 0 to supersonic is not your full speed. This isn't full. This is max. That's a little bit too far. This is max. So there is a little bit of wiggle room after supersonic. This is our S's, by the way. Where you can still go a little bit faster. Usually you get that speed by flipping, so by front flipping, or wave dashing. It keeps up your speed above supersonic, but you can tap the boost above supersonic. But the problem is, a lot of people, once they hit supersonic, they hold down boost to try and keep going fast. And this is where you should really be feathering. You should be tapping your boost periodically to maintain your speed, if anything. And honestly, just by coasting or holding the right trigger, you will hold that supersonic speed basically indefinitely until you make a turn. You will hold that speed, and that's important to know because as soon as you turn, then you need to be boosting again. That's where you use your boost. You don't want to be just using boost while driving a straight line. And these players on the other team are very, very bad about boosting and boost management, which means that if we boost starve them, they're probably going to be really hurting. Time 0 boost. This is another one that I really like because this means that in an average game, Gallico was without boost for over 1/5 of the game. There's a 5-minute game, and he spent 65 seconds, almost 66 seconds, with 0 boost. That's not a good sign. That means we need to be collecting up a lot more small pads. Sorry, we'll get to small pads in a second. I'd like to see time 0 boost under, I don't know, under 40 probably. 45 maybe is okay. That 40 to 60 is a little rough. It just kind of depends on the game. I would say try and play where you're always kind of collecting up some boost and you're not keeping yourself at 0 all the time. Time with 100 boost is kind of an irrelevant number because you can collect up 100 and then you can kind of sit on that 100 depending on the game and just kind of wait at midfield for the other team to clear it to you. So that one is kind of a misnomer more than anything else. Count big pads can also be a little bit of a misnomer because you can be stealing boost, which is why amount overfill is okay to pay attention to, but in a website like this, sometimes it doesn't collect that properly, that measure that properly. And an overfill stolen, I don't think counts the midfield boost. So like if you went over a midfield boost before another person went over it, it doesn't count as a steal. It only counts if you steal an offensive boost, which would be the other team's defensive boost. So some of the metrics there are a little bit wonky to me. But amount used while supersonic, time zero boost, and count of small pads are, I think, the big ones that I like to pay attention to here. And I want count of small pads to be 60 and higher for almost all tiers, honestly. You should be picking up and be a small boost warrior. 60 count of small pads is like ideal. If it's higher than that, it means you're really paying attention to small boosts. You have those small boost rotations down on pat. If it's, I don't know, 40 small pads, you could be playing a slightly slower game. You could be collecting up 100 pads more frequently, so you're not needing to rely on those small pads. But even me, for just kind of tapping the boost and moving around the field, I'm trying to collect up small pads to kind of refill and replenish and keep myself always collecting a little bit of boost. So when I see 39, I start to get a little bit worried. Now that's not our teammate, but it's just something to keep in mind. 50 and above, I think we're looking okay here. It's not terrible, so I wouldn't criticize anything too much there. Those are the things that I look for. Movement, you can kind of pay attention to. You can see who's in the air more. You can see who's low or on the ground the most. I don't know what we would do with power slide duration, but it's a thing that you could pay attention to. Positioning, whether or not you're in the offensive half or defensive third more often. Most back kind of is interesting because it means that you are more defensive. Most forward means that you are looking for outlet passes typically more often. That means that you probably also have a higher percentage in front of the ball, so you're not only most forward, but you're in front of the ball more often. So those usually kind of coincide. I would be actually surprised if you were most forward and not in front of the ball more than everybody else. Anyway, all right. So let's look at probably games 2 and 3 here, since those are kind of high scoring and the other team scored against you as well, or at least 3 and 4. Veg, Galley, Zombie, Veg, Phoenix. Mixes it up a little bit. Phoenix, Galley, Zombie. Yeah, let's do 3 and 4. Oh, I said skip fun. Shit. Rocket sledgers. I'm here as fuck. Yeah, I can review scrims. I don't. For me, preseason and scrims are basically the same, and even in the real season, if looking for something. Nope. That was really weird to do. Alright, we got Phoenix, Galley, and Veg. You go over your kickoff. So, I'm not going to give you too much shit here because I do it as well, where I do one flip into the ball. The difference between you and me, though, is I typically end up hitting more of a high point on the ball and forcing the ball to stay low as a result, no matter which side I lose it to. So if you're going to go fast and you're going to go for a single flip, try and hit a little bit higher point on the ball. 2 is if you're going to do double flip, then you flipped way too late, but that's okay. 3, I've done the sideways approach, and sometimes you can flip your back end into the ball and kind of kick it into their zone. It starts to get punished later, though, so just keep that in mind. High off your sidewall, not terrible. High off your sidewall with your teammate there, probably better. Low off the sidewall, even better. But high off the sidewall, not terrible. And knowing whether or not Galley and Phoenix are going left or following on the play is going to be kind of clutch. But overall, not terrible. So here's where I was talking about in the coaching part, where Phoenix went forward and cheated upfield, basically. This is probably a situation where him letting Galley go and just kind of rotating back posts is going to be clutch. Grabbing up the boost isn't my favorite in this play, again, because if Veg gets his boost stolen from him, then he's going to want to rotate back to defense potentially because the other team's going to be pressing on offense, and that's going to make it really hard for him to get boost. Phoenix should have had boost from coming up in the midfield. I will say overall, this isn't terrible. It's not unhealthy or anything like that. Veg now has 100. Phoenix has 100. Galley had 100, and he's using it to make the play on the ball. So the whole team is kind of stocked up right now. So we shouldn't get punished. Bit of a double commit. Veg flying at ground level. Good punish. Good little garbage goal. 50-50. Yeah. That's okay. Jesus. So again, just 2 great passes center and having somebody at the center of the field to finish it off. In fact, Gallico's shot was good, and then Veg cleaned it up. I think I would have let Phoenix dribble that. You kind of gave the ball away. It was a shot opportunity, though. Oh, it's not terrible. Yes! Pass upfield. Galley got the boost. I'd probably just let Galley continue on that if you missed the boost and you needed it. So this rotation back is good. Why is this rotation back good? Because the ball is coming back to midfield. Phoenix is there at midfield anyway. Your team isn't super far up on offense. The distance between the midfield and this back corner boost is relatively close distance. It's not far. It's not like this distance. So now you're in a defensive back post rotation. Phoenix gets a touch potentially to Galley, and now with Phoenix dead, you can move upfield and know that Phoenix is going to be spawning behind you. He's going to be that new third man. So you can really kind of use that boost and flip and move upfield very quickly. Oh, what's up, Fade? How's it going, man? Oop, shoot. Things. Oh, and thank you for following. Appreciate that. Pretty good positioning there. Position a little bit more in the middle of the net, but you were able to be the first one to the ball. Keep in mind, arrowing for the ball on the sidewall is okay, but if you drive up the sidewall, you're going to be using a lot less boost. The only problem there is making the connection off after driving up the sidewall can be tougher. So not so bad. You disrupted Connor. You forced Connor to lose possession of the ball, and here we see the first bump really of the game. But Veg's disruption of the play allowed Phoenix to take over that ball possession. I think Galley's scoring that if he makes connection. That's terrifying. Galley, I think that gets a little bit of a... Yeah, I think so. Galley called you. I don't remember what we were talking about Galley calling you out, but okay. Good to know. Oh, this Connor guy. Ooh, good try, good try. Ah, see, Phoenix left. Phoenix wasn't sure where Gallico was going to put that, and he assumed that Gallico might lose the possession, so he went supportive. And as the 2-man, you really should hold center of the field and just trust your 3-man to be back. And Worst case scenario, the 3-man can delay the ball and make sure that you have time to get back on defense. This rank is C2? C1, C2? This is minor. This should be mostly C2. Okay, so Galley's kind of delaying it in the corner. He calls himself off more or less. Phoenix may be panicking there. That's where Veg can go and say something along the lines of, "We don't need to panic," or "Everything's calm, everything's fine, I've got it under control." That's a good aerial by Phoenix. It cuts down an opportunity for Connor. Unfortunately, he doesn't get the touch. And unfortunately further is that Galley didn't get the touch into the corner into a way that it was away from the defense or dribble and use the space that he had available to him. That's honestly a really good pass. Phoenix maybe should commit there. He's 3rd man, but back in rotation pretty quick. Phoenix with some good small boost rotation back on the back post. It's excellent. Double commit there, but ooh, back down on it. Phoenix maybe getting a couple too many touches. It's good, but it's also bad because it cuts your teammate off. I love that hit. We need to rewind. This is something that I think more people can put into their arsenal, and something that you can practice in free play that you didn't realize you could do, okay? Ball's coming at you. You need to put it behind Connor, and you need to get it to your teammates. But your teammates are being blocked by Dav on a pass, so you can't pass it straight across the middle of the field. If you collect the ball, you're potentially going to get demoed and 50'd by Connor almost immediately. So this is just kind of a dangerous situation to be in. What does Phoenix do? Phoenix puts it behind Connor, and in his process of aerialing, ends up landing on the wall. Now, it wasn't a clean landing. It wasn't as good as he probably could have done it, but he's already got an advantage where he's already on the wall. He is already higher in the air as a result of his original aerial. See here. So he's already gained a little bit of distance off the ground, and now he's put the ball into the place that he wants to go for it. He put it onto the wall, and now he's going for it from the wall, so he's able to land on the wall and then get the hit from the wall into the center of the field. Now, I would hope that we see him do that, or we see our teammates do something like that, and we move upfield a little bit quicker and give them an option, because I would much rather see this ball come a little bit further away and force 8 fingers to go across the field instead of just back to this front post. But either way, Phoenix kind of launching it at their net is going to be a good clear. It immediately relieved all that pressure that they were about to be putting on us. He was able to get to the ball himself, so he was able to self-set up his own pass. It's an excellent hit. So it's a really good play right there. What is Fade? Is that Braden? Fade is Braden? Oh, that's a shot and a half. Phoenix, I don't know where you're aerialing to, bud. You weren't blocking the first shot, so you want to aerial so you can predict the backboard read. Veg playing a tight front post. It worked out. I do that same kind of hit pretty often, although I sometimes dribble in that situation, which is scary, but given the right circumstances. So you guys are holding your 2-1 lead. What a demo. That's a clutch demo. So they're maybe getting demos, but not necessarily in the spots where they get goals on them, or we're not looking at a game where they won. Yeah. Excellent. Hold in the chat, Braden. I like this. This is a 2-man offense that I was just talking about too. So like the first half of this video, I did talk about like a lot of different coaching topics that I repeat myself a lot. This is great because it forces the defense to push Phoenix, and if Phoenix can just get a little tap over to the side, Galley can get it, and Galley can potentially put it right back, or he can fake the receipt and actually come out wider and potentially shoot it. Like, he's got some options there. Phoenix can also take it up the wall and drop it in front of the net, and know Galley's making the play upfield with him. Galley is the dedicated 2-man in this play. Veg is supporting. And so Veg, I would assume, is probably going to come up behind at this midfield zone, and probably going to grab up at least 1 or 2 small pads along his way. And that'll give them a 3-man offense. They'll have a bit of a triangle like this with a Galley in the middle of the field. Yep. Oh, Galley may be too soon. You didn't need to help him make the pass center. You needed to be there for the pass center. What a tackle by Phoenix. Nice. Good not hit on the ball. Good interruption by them. And time's up. Not so bad. Oh, what's up, Jeremy? We gonna get a replay review this season for you? Alright, so we substitute out Galley for Zombie. Let's see what's kind of the difference. They've got the same lineup. I don't even know what that limit is. Straight down in the box. That's okay. So it's not terrible that nobody went for it. I would have really liked Veg to go for this ball, though. Zombie's in a pretty good defensive supportive role, more or less at midfield, more or less the same direction that the other team is going, clearing the ball to. So even though you feel like maybe I can't get to this ball, just even the smallest disruption or bump or block might just end up going into their net. And a ball that's bouncing off the ceiling and coming straight down, you can aerial up for and put it off their backboard. You can put it into the net. You can put it up high again and just kind of keep it awkward for the other team. And all of those are great things that can happen that aren't too difficult to do as the ball's there. There, now Zombie was in the right spot. He cleared it back into the zone, and we didn't have anybody there for him, which kind of stinks. So in that case, Zombie either needs to know that he needs to solo play, or we as a team have kind of failed Zombie by everybody rotating out when Zombie was trying to put the ball back in and keep the offensive pressure up. Blocked by Veg. So we're kind of playing a little bit of ping pong. The ball's kind of going back and forth. So Zombie, you were in the center of the field, and then you moved out to the outside, and that's the space that Eight Fingers took in order to come down the center of the field. And by coming back out to the outside of the field, that's what allowed Connor to hit you. Even if you got a bad challenge, just by holding the center of the field and forcing them down to the outside would have been a little bit better in that play. Really good self-pass off the sidewall again. Oh, Veg, so close. Nice. Dav misses this, so then we need to stay up on offense. Good back post rotation. Phoenix moves in, cuts across the field. Veg moves in behind him. I don't know where we're passing that, but Phoenix is going alone. Phoenix is doing it himself and gets a goal. Great job, the Veg post. Rip. Postitas. We're pretty good at disrupting the play and getting the ball away from their cars. We're not so good at disrupting the play and then being the next person to the ball. You can probably play this hit a little bit slower. I'm jumping to you because I keep seeing you in chat, first of all, and second of all, things that you can do slightly differently. This could be a West Coast thing where you just weren't sure where this ball was exactly bouncing, but overall, ball's going to kind of typically move in a slight gravitational drop. Most likely with the trajectory it goes on, it's going to bounce off the wall. It's not going to roll, so you don't have to worry about the roll. Eight Fingers is in a spot where he has to shoot it, so you can almost just kind of hold this front post longer and not make the push on the play as early, even letting the ball bounce and then driving into it instead of trying to predict where it's going to bounce. This isn't one where we need to be as worried about getting there to the ball first because there is this space that the ball still needs to traverse before it can cross that front post. So just by holding the front post just a little bit longer, you're buying that space that Eight Fingers still has to make the play, and you can almost read Eight Fingers instead of the ball, and just make sure that you're in the way of Eight Fingers and the ball. Yeah, you might have rushed it. It happens. So just giving yourself a little bit more time, holding that front post just a little bit longer, you'll lose plays. I will say momentum is very important in this game, and being able to use and transition that momentum is great. But whiffing on a ball in order to save momentum is going to get you punished more than anything else. Okay, so we disrupt the play, and now Veg has the play upfield. A little bit heavy hit first touch. You let the ball get away from you. So either bang the ball and send it to their backboard so that you can follow it up and they're in an awkward position, or hit a little bit softer so that you can get that next touch before Eight Fingers gets there and disrupts it. Great block by Phoenix. It's a little bit scary because if Connor beats him, he was last man back, and that could have been well. Phoenix on a very deep rotation back, but he's grabbing up pads, just still really far away from the play is all. I have to applaud the patience there by Phoenix. That's a great play. I don't talk about this a ton, so it doesn't really fit into my typical conversations, but the walls are sideways floors, okay? You typically would not dodge immediately on the ground. And so if you're on the wall, you should probably, again, not dodge immediately if you're on the wall. If you're on the ceiling, you should probably not dodge immediately when you're on the ceiling. You want to launch off of the surface that you are on, get yourself into the position that you want to be, and then use your dodge. You wouldn't start your aerial on the ground by dodging forward. So, similarly on the wall, you want to single jump off the wall, push yourself at the ball with using boost and by turning your nose with your left stick, and then trying to make the hit. I've done what Zombie Slayer's done too many times. I hope you guys can learn from my mistakes. I'm still working on it. It's such a bad habit still ingrained in me to just like double jump off the walls. What a great little pass forward. Edge get the goal? No, Zombie got the redirect. How could we? The veg post. Gotcha. Conversation. I think Phoenix could have been upfield here. I think he rotated a little bit too far back, not knowing that Veg was kind of already in the position. So here's this problem, right? All right, who is the support man? Because Veg kind of maybe pushed up a little bit too far for him to be the support man, so maybe should be the 2-man in front of the net. But Zombie's in the center of the field, which means that if he would have just pushed up, he could have filled that 2-man role very easily. So this could be just something that Zombie calls out and says, Veg, hold back, Phoenix, I'm center for you. It could be something where Zombie says, I'll hold back, Veg, be center for Phoenix. That's quarterbacking. So we need to start paying attention to people's callouts, and hopefully there is callouts. If you are the last man back, you have more view of the field than almost anybody else on the field, especially Phoenix. And Phoenix might not know who's center of the field that he can pass to. And right now, there's no one there. I'd really like a 2-man to be in that spot. Oh, sideways floor. The wall is just a sideways ground, right? Not a bad back pass. It's tough because it's an aerial, but Phoenix was very easy. They're able to deal with that very easily. Phoenix is very comfortable on the walls. Oh, that's unfortunate. I don't mind that double commit by Veg. He doesn't know what Phoenix is doing. Phoenix had an opportunity to hit the ball and missed it, and so Veg comes in and tries to relieve the situation. It's okay. Saw the pass coming center, and I saw the blue names, and I was a little bit worried. But Zombie dealt with that one very easily, and Veg kind of made it easy. Take it across the field. Phoenix up the wall, in center of the field. Oh, wow. That's a great play. If we could capitalize on that one and get some goals, that'd be excellent. Call that out to zone. Quarter of the center. Okay, big clear to the corner. Yanks is able to get back in time. See, the corner slows them down. If they would have put that off the backboard, they wouldn't have gone as slowly. That's a coaching topic that I talk about. You guys end up in the offensive zone a lot. Haven't ended up with good shot opportunities in the offensive zone. It might have been. It's okay. Oh! Okay, everything's fine. Wait for the bounce, read it. Not bad. Up. We're all trying to push forward. OT. It's so funny to me how many games go into OT and just immediately are over. It's like all you needed was one more set play, one more opportunity for people to just be in a weird position after a kickoff. Yep. It's overhead aerial save. Those are tough. Oh, man. Well, there's a training pack for that, so you have that as an option. Another option is don't put yourself in a... Well, the problem is if he would have dribbled, you needed to cut down that space, so coming across field wasn't so bad. But if you would have known that he was booming the ball, then rotating back to net this way would have been much easier for you to clear the ball, because instead of it being over your head and trying to make the save, it would be just in front of you the whole way. So sometimes I will make this play even if they are dribbling and just tackle them as they reach that front post and try and force it into the corner. Just so that if they do launch it long, I can use aerial for it. Alright, so that was minor. I've got some elite people in the chat. Let's see if we can find an elite. Ball chasing up. It was sent to me indeed. Replay was just looking at. Cut, paste, exit, play, buy low. You want me to look from your specific point of view or the team point of view? Tiger. Yeah, I can do yours. That's fine. This isn't good. That's way too long with zero boost. One game, he spent a minute and a half with zero boost. It's a 5-minute game. Oh, 47-second overtime, but still. 6-minute game, spent a minute and a half with zero boost. That is not a good sign. So we're regularly playing with low boost. That's also not good. So maybe some bad habits there. Talk about. This is why Wilo is so relevant and somebody that we really considered drafting. Just always has boost. Will always have boost. Pack doing a good job. Tiger doing a pretty good job. Anderson just maybe a little too reliant on those big pads. 7. That's impressive. You were able to keep the amount of boost that you had. Really pick up 7 big boosts. Tiger taking most of those. Interesting. See how that affects things. Pack trying to play the balance between Tiger and Anderson. Maybe Tiger playing too more support. I know Anderson can get very aggressive. Boost. So here we go. Defensive boost. So, okay, so here's the thing that I notice the most is I talk about stealing the midfield boost because if they have midfield boost control, 7, 4, 6, 10 pickups of that midfield boost, that means that they're going to be holding that midfield defense much better than you guys are. Alright, so let's actually see the game. Good block. So, this is a very... Oh, well, we'll jump into Tiger's point of view in a second. This is a very defensive support positioning, and Pac's definitely moving this ball up the field. So, having Tiger upfield is great, but Tiger just made a big play and is in the middle of 3 cars. So, if Pac hits this, he's inviting all 3 of those cars to make the play. If Anderson moves upfield and grabs up small pads and holds the center of the field, that gives Pac an option to support, or an option to bounce it off the wall, and Tiger doesn't have to be necessarily the one that goes for it. Look for reasons to break down field without being the one to grab up 100 boosts necessarily. Fine, just wait back post, it's fine. Not your best hit. I would have rather seen a clear go to the same side. Keep it away from Lucky Ash, who just rotated and got 100 boost. That's not bad. Lost your pass. Not sure what that flip got you. It definitely puts you a little bit more downfield as an option for Anderson up, but then you should stay upfield. If you're going to flip through that boost and put yourself out of the way for getting the ball, then just stay upfield. But if you clear it and then you just sit here and wait for Wilo to go, I mean, he basically hit it down towards where you were. You might have been able to go up for it right afterwards. Nice, good camera check. Camera check there. You can be more upfield right now. If Pac disrupts this, then you want to be in a place where that disruption will go to you. If they get a long clear, it's unlikely that at midfield you're going to be able to block that anyway. And now Lucky's beating you in the air because you're too far away. And Anderson probably should not be going for that ball. He's coming across field, so you should be the one going for this, and it's because you are so far back that I think either he was going because you were so far back, or he's just being too ball chasey. You want to be able to beat people to the aerials, especially when you are holding that midfield defense. Being very annoying. You're the 2-man, your responsibility is to go when you can see the opportunity. You just missed out on 2 opportunities where you could have gone. If you didn't like packs, then you needed to be in position for the follow on immediately. That's good clear. And Anderson's there, and you're at the center of the field, although you pathed over 0 small boost. Pretty good small boost pad pickups. Not a bad shot either. Unfortunately, Wilo just keeps giving you the opportunities, and you keep clearing it right to him. So he knows that at this point, side dodge. He knows that you're just going to clear the ball almost every time you get a touch on it, which means you need to find an opportunity to dribble. What is happening? What the fuck? Okay. Let's talk about kickoffs. You guys should go into a game and Just have a conversation instead of playing it. Gotcha. Honestly, not a bad bump. That really opened up space for Pack to make a play, and now you guys should get a goal. Yeah. That goal mostly comes from your back. Obviously, your teammates did a good job of capitalizing on that opportunity as I drip water over my lap. So here I'm thinking two things. I'm thinking demo, because you got the 54 boost, pushing them into the defensive corner, which allows your team to swoop in, or just tackling. Playing midfield and not collecting up any more boosts and then going for the first aerial that you get. Maybe not the play. And it's going to the far corner so you can play back post. Nice. Oh, speed him. Maybe getting underneath that ball just a little bit more so you can pop it higher. Wilo's a good elite player. Baited it in. Oh my. They're picking on you. I can't be missing that boost. Now you're in a really tough spot to make a play here. Love stealing their boosts. It's good. Great disruption. I really like that role as the third man. You are clearly on the forward side of this play, right? You're in front of the ball, right? But the ball's coming back out towards a potential shooter, and you disrupt that shooter by getting to the ball first. I like that. I think that's a good role for the third man. Coming back at your own net and making sure to miss a shot, basically, is a really good way to play that role. And what it does is if you bounce it off the backboard, then Anderson can be moving forward, or Pat can be moving forward with that ball as it bounces off your backboard. That's where a shoot be. So yep, exactly. I don't think your fast aerial's as fast as it could be. I could be wrong. That looked slow. You didn't know it was going to roll. I like hit it into the boost. Hit it into that corner, pick up the boost, and then continue with the ball. Now you're in a tough spot with zero boost. You launched off the wall, and you're missing out on a mid boost. Yeah, and now they're grabbing up that mid boost again, and they're rotating back onto defense. So now they're 100 boost back on defense. What's up, Teddy? Alright, let's back this up just a half step. Alright, so Anderson likes going boost on kickoff, so almost no matter where he is, just kind of assume that's happening. This isn't a bad play at all. Try. That's where I want you to be and where I want you to be going, but your low boost count made it so it was much more. It bounced off the wall. It sucks when you go onto the backboard and then the ball does bounce like that, because it just makes it that much harder for you to get to it. Oh god, you're protecting the goal against your teammates. No! Alright, so big things that I noted were there was a couple missed 100 boost grabs, especially at the midfield. Hitting the ball intentionally on a dribble into a boost lane or a big boost is clutch and something that you should absolutely do. I highly encourage that. Just waiting upfield, I think sometimes would be probably okay for you to do if Anderson or Pack can boom it. Dodging demos by using a side dodge would be great. Back post position was pretty good. Your reliance on small pads was pretty good. You were in the play a lot. I think one aerial that you had. Hope I go back far enough. I'd hate to go through this like 3 times. That one was because you mostly had low boost. This one. So Wilo's good in the air. He's good in general. But here you're coming at it and you're hitting it more forward and probably draw forward. Well, we're gonna draw it to the left, but you're hitting it more forward than you are up. And Wilo's coming at it away where he's going to block you if you hit it forward. So if you can get more on the bottom of the ball and pop it up, that beats the last man back. It bounces off the ceiling, it drops in front of the net, potentially you or somebody else cleans that up. Just beating the last man back is going to be huge, and beating the last man back without putting it into either corner is going to be great too. So in this case, I think bouncing off the ceiling is the best play that you have. Part of that is your approach. You are intentionally right now boosting this way. This is the direction that your car is facing, so your boost is coming out, and while it looks like it's coming this way, is actually propelling you in this direction. So you're actually coming across for this ball. So then you have to course correct and boost back to try and get back at the ball again. See? So now we're boosting facing this way, whereas if you would have just launched directly for where you thought it was going to go, and then course corrected as the ball moved past you, I think it would have been a better play, and more likely to chip it over Wilo, even if it went a little bit wide. But a 2-1 game, not too bad, especially against him. Alright, should we move on and do another one? Call out after that. Let's do dynamite. Tough. You guys organize your dynamite preseason from AT's perspective. Great. Teddy, not right now. Let's grab a specific game. This is from 9-8, so this is pretty soon. Yeah, I'm watching another thing. Double boost, not a huge fan. Collection into the corner. Weimer maybe rotating a little bit into that play. but honestly, a good breakout into offense. Off target. We're looking at the blue team, Teddy. Down center, unfortunately, he was there. Good disruption. Again, tough to read. Got there maybe a little late. So I don't like this play. I don't. So what I really do like about this is that we have two players who rotate really well into less a front post and back post rotation. So Weimer and JT actually position decently. The problem is Panda's already in this corner, and I think the call needs to come from one of you two for her to release, for her to get out of this play. She's going to be doing nothing of value here. She's doing it with no boost, no momentum, and it's just slowing the play down even further. But you don't need to anymore. Slowing the play down is for when the offense is breaking down on offense and you need to buy time for your defense to get back. But as soon as your defense is back in a set position, then you need to call off whoever's slowing the play down to get the fuck out of the way. So Panda needs to get out of the way here, and somebody needs to take over the ball. So that won't be happening. Sorry, buddy. Pretty good positioning by JT. Panda coming off the backboard, maybe unnecessarily. So, again, Panda, I think we've talked about this in a previous setup, but grabbing this boost when your team's on offense isn't good. But look at all these small pads. Look at all these small pads that aren't taken in the middle of the field. There's easily 100 boosts in small pads here. This separation is bad. And when you did grab up that boost, you could have turned upfield. Your team's on offense, after all. But you turned back on defense for some reason. I'm not sure why. I really need to emphasize midfield defense. So if you're that third man, holding somewhere in this space is going to be great, and it's going to create a nice little triangle between you and your teammates. And if Weimer can put it off the backboard, then you can be there for it. But if he puts it off the backboard now, the orange team is just going to come in and take the ball and be on offense. And here they come. All because you had too much separation, whereas you could have been challenged at either midfield or in their zone. A demo there would have been really good. Good toss off to the side. Weimer's in a good back post rotation now. I would say just because you're back post doesn't mean it's necessarily good enough. Back post and on the backboard in that case I think would have been the play. JT reading Weimer's hit, not bad. You guys have been playing twos recently, so maybe so close. Good finish by Weimer. Maybe you guys will read each other on your plays a little bit better now that you've been playing some twos together. Know where people are comfortable. Sometimes you just need to bang the ball out of your zone. I don't see a problem with that. Oh, and it's in front again. Oh, the chip, little chip. Sometimes maybe in that case a fake is better than chip, but an early shot is even better than both of those. And it's coming at the wrong angle. Nice shot. So Weimer and JT actually playing pretty good midfield defense right now. JT maybe a little out of position. Hold that outside wall. Don't get sucked into the middle of the field. Weimer's already in the middle of the field. You want to take it from the outside into the inside with your touches, so further outside you are the better because you never have a ball be more outside than you. That's scary. She's falling down that back wall too. That's a goal. Not a goal. Never punished. There it is. Yeah, that broke down about 5 seconds earlier in that back left corner. Good touch center. Just go. Just go. If you're that two-man and you're in the middle of the field and somebody passes the center, I think you just have to go for the ball. Again, Panda over-rotating back on defense. And then, additionally, running in front of the ball so that the ball is behind you. I just don't see the point. If you rotate back and you're going to be front post, let the ball rotate around and come at it going forward. Why would you want to let the ball be behind you? You can boost forward. You can't boost backwards. So coming at it from this angle and moving out would be much better than swooping back in and trying to do a dribble, especially a dribble that you're going to be taking in front of your own net with the other team just like right in front of you. Oops. Happening. Yeah, that's terrifying. That right there is a big wee-woo. You do not want to be dribbling the ball in front of your own. They're just going to punish that. Weimer over rotating back. JT was already back, got full boost. Okay, so I don't like this zigzag. Alright, so let's just follow Weimer and JT's car for a second. Okay. Who is the two-man? Who is the support player? Because right now, JT is playing support to Panda. And then Weimer is playing support to JT. We're in a straight line. We are not playing offense together. Up on offense together, move back on defense together. You are a unit. You are a team. You are moving together in one direction. This isn't 3v1 or 1v3. Panda is not going to 1v3 all of these players. Yeah, maybe every once in a while it'll happen. You'll get something lucky. It'll go in. Maybe you should get some crazy play off the wall and opens up a ton of free space for her. Obviously, you're not going to be able to help out with those plays, but you want to give her the option. Be in space in front of the net. And that... if JT moves into that space, that makes Weimer know that he needs to be supportive on the side that he thinks they're going to clear the ball. If it's the other side, then he needs to move this way so that if they're going to clear the ball, he's on the side that he thinks they're most likely going to clear the ball. To Tiger's point, we call that the launch direction or direction. Having a good direction will help you with your aerials. Alright, so now JT and Weimer cut back right because they're following the ball, and then cut back left because they're following the ball. And the entire time, they're both following the ball instead of playing a position. And that's the problem. Stop. So we just watched Weimer and JT basically do a nice little silhouette of synchronized swimming. So I don't recommend it. I think you should play positional-based defense, positional-based offense, not just follow the ball in ball cam and move left when the ball moves left and move right when the ball moves right. That's reactionary. That's bad. We need to get out of that habit. Play positions, trust your teammates to hold positions. Good beat in the air. Unfortunately, Weimer's going all the way back for boost and doesn't trust the clear upfield. Or JT doesn't realize that we have to beat that early and doesn't move upfield. So again, we're kind of clearing the ball into their zone, but then not keeping the possession or the offensive pressure right afterwards. JT getting demoed is going to be rough. Weimer on a near side ball side rotation to front post. That's going to be a tough save for him. Luckily got the play. JT with the bump. Panda needed boost. Now he's bumping Panda. Oh my goodness, that was terrifying. Oh, try. That's a good shot. Panda doing a really good job of playing midfield defense right now, and then slots it in as soon as she finds that opening. So if we can get her playing midfield defense instead of playing back on the boost pads back here and having that huge separation, here she was short separation. She was at midfield. And so as soon as Orange team kind of gave up the ball in a weird spot, she was able to capitalize, pounce on it, and punish. And that's huge. We need to make those kind of plays more frequently, and that involves being at midfield. At means that you might need to grab up some small pads and hang out with your team, but it's a team-based game. Stay up on offense when your team's on offense. Every once in a while, they're going to get a booming ball clear, and it's going to go in. It's going to bounce off a wall. It's going to be a pinch. It's going to be something stupid. It's okay. We move on. We move past those. We keep going. We're going to score a lot more goals by being offensive and playing upfield together. Do what you can if you're third man to try and win the ball. Gets taken over in possession. Hold the center of the field and force the play into either corner. Make sure that the center of the field is. And that involves even like watching the play come this way and you holding this path and then cutting across the center of the field at the last second to block the goal. I mean, that's still protecting the goal because you're holding the center of the field by being more central. If you're out in this corner or along the side wall, that's not center of the field, and it's much harder for you to get to that center point. All right. So we got a few replay reviews in there. We got those coaching topics that we talked about at the beginning of the replay. I think that's what we're going to call it for this one. Thanks, guys, for watching. Hope you learned something. Hope we were able to cover some topics that maybe aren't always covered, or we learn something about our teammates, see something in ourselves that we can improve. All right. Have a good one, guys.